Good morning, everyone. It is 11 o'clock, June 19th, Wednesday, right here in YouTube. If you are joining me live, thank you so much for being here with me. Or maybe you catching the replay, and I'm so glad that you're taking some time out of your busy day to watch the card I'm going to make today. I'm super excited about it. So, if we haven't had the pleasure of meeting, my name is Jamie. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in upstate New York here. And I do this live every week on Wednesdays, 11 o'clock on the East Coast. And I share a card live with you. I show you maybe some tips or tricks that help me make the card and answer any questions you may have. And honestly, I just really enjoy just sharing cards. Paper crafting is not only my hobby, it's what I love to do. It's how I spend my time. It's my passion. It's my joy. So I love sharing that with you. So if you are joining me, give me a hello. If you're catching the replay, definitely give me a shout out. I always love to see where everybody's watching from, like all over the country, all over North America, the world, everything. So I'm in upstate New York. We are having a heat wave right now. Holy cow, it is really hot out there today. So I am just enjoying being in the air conditioning and paper crafting. So this week I've been using, I always have to fiddle with my lights. There we go. The Layers of Beauty bundle. It is an amazing bundle because it's a stamp set, dies, decorative masks. It's a trio bundle. Decorative masks, it's just like they're stencils. I just kind of want to call them stencils because everybody understands that term. So they're officially called decorative masks. But for the sake of using a word that everybody kind of understands, I'm going to call them stencils. Hello, Lisa's here, Amy, Katie, Joe, Sue, other Sue, and Noreen. Yes, it's a scorcher out there. Hello, Andre. I hope I did not just butcher your name. Good morning, everyone. So this is a set that caught my eye like right from the beginning in the catalog. You know what? I should have pulled it out. It was one of those that, and then like every card I've seen made, I'm like, that's gorgeous. That's beautiful. I love how they did that. That's just really pretty, the colors they picked. So I haven't seen a card yet made with it that I haven't absolutely loved. And I've just kind of been waiting and like, I'm going to save it for a rainy day. And this week I was like, this is the week I'm bringing it out and I'm going to use it. And let me tell you, you know, when you have just something really inspiring, when you can sit down and just like create, and it really comes natural and kind of organic and you love all the cards. That's a good set. It's a keeper. So, by the way, this is a bundle. Just 365 days a year, you'll save 10% when getting the bundle. Right now, we have a bundle sale that'll save you an additional 10%. So you're going to save the normal 10% and then an additional 10% on top of that right now through the end of June. I didn't check inventory. I don't think it's low inventory, but if you don't have this already, you should definitely take advantage of the sale and get it. E-Sexes is approaching 100. I think we're about to hit 100 too. Yeah, which like for us in upstate New York in end of June is like, I mean, we can hit low 90s, but not as hot as it's been. Good morning, everyone. Marsha, Lisa, Anne, Kel's here, Yolanda. I feel like I butcher all of your names, so I'm just going to say hello because I just don't want to offend anyone. Let me see if I can quickly find it in the catalog. I don't even know what page it's on, but let me find that. Hello, everyone. Let's just do a little quick browse. By the way, where is it? Can I do, you know me, let's pause this current. Oh, I'm not going to be able to find it. There's a stamp set that I think I'm going to buy. Is it this one? It's this one. Isn't that so, oh, you can't really see. Isn't that so fun? I'm like really liking that right now. And I love how you can do some scrapbooking fun with it. Okay, let's see. There it is. Page 57. 57 of your annual catalog. It's not low inventory. Thank you, Joe. So you should get it. Get it while you get the 10% off, and then the additional 10%. It's a great one to get in the month of June. Loving the samples. Gosh, there's so much you can do with it. It's just gorgeous. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous set. So the card I'm going to make with you today is my original is not a fun fold. I'm going to be making it a fun fold. The reason why my original is not a fun fold is because when I die cut the white on the top, I die cut it pretty high. And so to have it be like, it just was a little high. So I'm going to play with the design a little bit with you guys today. And I'm going to move that die just down just a little bit and hopefully make it a fun fold. We'll see, to be determined, but that's going to be the idea. And I'm going to show you how to do it because I also propped this up. It's kind of hard to tell on dimensionals. I wanted it a little bit 3D. I wanted it a firmer opening. I didn't want it like too flimsy. So I'm going to show you how I did that, why I did that, and we're going to do that. You have this set. Yay. It's so fun, Lisa. Okay, let me show you all my cards because I usually forget. And then I'm like, I forgot to show you all my cards. So this is today's card. Yes. So this is using stamps, dies, stencils. Okay. This card was yesterday's and it just uses the stencils. It's a much softer look. It's just more, I would call like artistic. You don't have that defined lines that the stamp provides. This is just using the stencils. This is using one color for both the flowers and one color for the leaves and just layering them. So doing one layer and then going in with the second one and doing another layer and then a third. And as you're building those colors, you're making it deeper and darker. So just using Pretty in Pink and Shy Shamrock. Unlike today's card where we're going to use 3 different colors for the flowers, 3 different colors for this flower, and 2 colors for the leaves. Okay. So kind of giving it different options. Tomorrow's card. Oh, I love it so much. You know me. I love simplicity. Oh my gosh, Noreen, you have to get some ink on those stamps. This one I saw someone else do, and I will give her a shout out on my blog. I don't know the name off the top of my head, but it's not an original idea of mine, where she stamped the images and then used a marker, like a Stampin' Blends marker, to just color around the outside. The image was a little hanging off a little bit, so I cut the top part off and then slipped it in. I don't know if you can tell. This is not attached. I snipped this off and then kind of tucked it in behind. Otherwise, it was going to be way hanging off the card. So that's tomorrow's card. I love it so much. This would be a great sympathy card, a great like get well card. I didn't necessarily need one, so I didn't make it one, but I thought like the general design would be really good for a sympathy card or a get well soon card. And then Friday's card, I love it so much. Can I tell you? I love all these cards. I really, 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 really do. I'm just a sucker. So this is taking all the different components of that big chunky single stamp, kind of chopping them up and then creating kind of a unique cluster. I love it so much. So let me just show you for a second. You have the big die that will cut out the big floral image, okay? But then you also have this die that will cut out the bigger rows and then the top leaves coming off of it. It does fit. The imagery on the packaging is smaller than it really is. So this die cuts out this. So if you're not into fussy cutting, you could just cut a bunch of those. No big deal. But then I went one step further and I fussy cut this guy and I think I fussy cut that guy and then kind of put them all together and arrange them in this beautiful sort of cluster of prettiness. So we're going to call it. So you can use just the stencils. You can use it and go all out with all sorts of different colors and layers and sorry, I hit my phone, and making it like all the things. You could do something, I would call this like lazy coloring, where you want to add some color, but you don't want to sit there and color every little detail. So like lots of layers, lazy coloring is how I would call that. Or you can also go in and use like the different individual images and make a whole different look and design altogether. Whatever you're doing, I think this is so versatile. I think you can do so much with it. It basically can be used for any kind of card except maybe masculine cards, but sympathy, birthday, graduation, wedding, it's just like the sky's the limit. This would make like a really pretty like baby girl card if someone's expecting a little baby girl. It's like so soft and so pretty. So guys, like the sky's the limit. I'm telling you, if you do not have this bundle, you need to go get it. And better yet, in the month of June when there's an extra 10% off. Okay, here we go. We're going to make this card, and I'm really hoping this works. We're just like fingers crossed this is going to work. So I'm starting off with thick basic white. This is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5.5. So 4 1/4, 11, 5 1/2, normal sort of top fold card. I almost always make top fold cards. Just what I like. It's just my jam. And then I have the die. Okay, so this is what I did the first time that I'm not going to do this time. I went a little high with my die. I'm going to drop it down. And when I run it through my machine, I'm only going to run it through about halfway and then stop. You do not want to run this all the way through your machine. If you run it all the way through your machine, you're cutting out an image. You're not going to have a card base. We need to keep the card base kind of intact. And so I'm going to drop it low and I'm going to run it through. So I basically want to hit like this cut out here and then this cut out here. And then that's it. Now, if I hit some of this, I can kind of hide it when I adhere my colored image over it. But when I run it through, I kind of want to go hit here and then preferably no farther. So I'm going to crank it in and then back it out. I'm not going to just crank it all the way through. Okay. And unlike this card, you can see I was way higher. I was probably about there where I cut it out. So if you're looking to keep it an intact, normal fold, that's kind of where you would go. But it gets a little complicated because I did a color base. And so if you were making a normal fold, you would just do it out of a single 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 white. But I'm going to make this a fun fold, Lord willing. So I'm doing it out of thick and I'm going to drop it a little bit lower. I'm going to crank it through until I hit those 2 points and then I'm going to back it out. Beep, beep, beep. Oh, and I just realized I don't have, there we go, we're going to use this one. I don't have a top plate for mine. Okay, so here we go, off camera because moving it is a beast. I'm going to drop it lower, hopefully a lot lower. Okay, we'll go there. Oh, I almost did it upside down. I almost ran it through like this. It needs to go like this. Oh boy. Do as I say, not as I do. Holy cow, that would have been really bad. Can you imagine? I'm like, do it, and then I do it completely wrong. I'm having trouble with the cutting, the different sizes for the layering effect. Any ideas, help, cheats, that would help. So Lisa, just give me some more information. Are you talking in general, or are you talking like with specifically using this bundle? Or just in general, you're having trouble with your layers? Just give me a little bit more information so I can help. So I ran this through, right? I ran it up just a little bit and then I backed out. And so it cut off the little bottom bit. That did not cut all the way through, did? No, it didn't. I think I can fix that with just my scissors. Let's see. You really want to be careful not to put it all the way through, but then you run the risk not running it through enough like I did here. But I think I can fix that. Oops, that's garbage. I almost put it in my drawer to save. I don't know why. Hold on. Okay, we're good. This is pretty much going to be covered, so we're good. Okay, so this is our card base. Oh, that's much better. Much better. We'll have to decide. Maybe we don't like it being cut so low and we prefer like half in a normal fold. I don't know. This is one of the reasons why I love going live and like doing reels, because I can kind of rework it and then decide which one I like. Lisa said, no, just in general, I can't cut a straight line even with a ruler. I'm mathematically challenged. Well, I can't help with the math. I can't help. I have seen some people create kind of like cheat sheets where maybe they cut like, one card base and then another card base and then another card base. Granted, as long as you're cutting the correct measurements, and then using them kind of as a guide. I have seen that. Maybe that would help for you. What do I want to do? I think I'm just going to use this. Okay. Hold on. I'm all confused. I can't talk and I'm challenged. I can't talk and do something at the same time. Okay, so I didn't mount this. My bad. I'm going to do it now. You are going to need your ginormous F block because this is quite the big image, let me tell you. And I'm going to stamp this in Memento Black. I would highly, highly, highly recommend, can't say it enough, putting a cushion underneath. So this is just our old foam mat. I don't even think it's available anymore. Like the silicone mat would be okay. Even a catalog underneath would be okay. When you're using this big of an image, especially a photopolymer image, the red rubber cling have a natural foam in it. These do not. And so in order to make sure like the innermost part of the stamp gets a really clean image, I would suggest putting just something underneath to cushion. Now I'm going to stamp this separately. I'm going to ink it up pretty well and then stamp it on a separate piece of white. And you're going to need like a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. This image is quite on the big side. I think this is even longer than that. I'm going to stand, so don't mind me. You really want, hello, you really want to make sure. I don't have strength in my arms, and so in order to really like press, I have to stand. I have to use the full body. Hopefully this works. If not, we'll do it again. Oh, that's gorgeous. Gorgeous. As I tip everything over, I'm going to close this before I put my finger in it. Okay, so this is what we have. We don't need the mat anymore. That was just to help with the actual stamping. But I would suggest some Post-it note tape. So you guys are always asking, what is that stuff you're using? Just Post-it note tape. It's nothing really fancy. You can find that on Amazon. If you're unsure like where to go, if you go to my blog, in the menu, there's, I think I call it like a few of my favorite things. So there's a link there, but you can even just search Amazon, Post-it note tape. I guess we'll go this way. Actually, I should hold on. Before I commit, let me make sure. Let me just make sure. Oh, I'm backwards. I'm like, why am I struggling? I'm backwards. Okay, we're good. So I am going to adhere, or not adhere, but secure what I just stamped to my surface. I don't want this budging. And so I'm using Post-it note tape. It won't tear the tip. Oh my gosh, words. It won't tear the cardstock. It's not going to rip your image. It's like a Post-it note, except it's tape. And so I'm holding my image down. I do not want this budging. Then I'm going to come in. Now, the masks, there's 5 of them. Oh, I hope this is going to pick. Oh, there, you can kind of see. They're all numbered. There's 5. This is 1. So 1, that's 4. I didn't put these in order. 1, that's 3. This has to be 2. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3 are the flowers. 4, 5 are the leaves. And what we're going to do is start with number 1. And you'll see there's a little notch there. I don't always use the notch, but it is helpful. So I'm going to line up my image. This is the one that you would want to be the lightest color. Okay. Number 1 is your lightest. Number 2 is your medium. Number 3 is your darkest. Okay. And I'm just lining up the stencil or decorative mask. I'm just going to call it a stencil around my floral images. And then I'm going to take more Post-it note tape and really, I do not want this going anywhere. Now I'm going to mark the notch. I don't always use the notch because I find sometimes, did that move? No. Sometimes just going by the images themselves works just fine, but it is good to make the notch mark so that you can line them all up. They all have a notch. And so the idea is that you would, match the notch and continue. Now for the colors I picked Color Buddies. So you could go with something like this and just use one single card, one single color and do like a light color and then press a little bit more and then add a really dark one and kind of build the color that way. Or you can bring in colors that are very similar, complementary. We call them Color Buddies. So I'm using Bubble Bath, Petunia Pop, and Berry Burst. You can see they look very pretty together. They're kind of like, they're like cousins or even like siblings. Like they're really beautiful together. For the yellow, I'm going to bring in Lemon Lolly, Daffodil Delight, and Crushed Cream. Again, they look really pretty. They're kind of a natural gradient, really nice together. And then for the leaves, I'm going to do Old Olive and Mossy Meadow. Again, Old Olive and Mossy Meadow, they kind of look like they'd be siblings or cousins. And Mossy Meadow is just like a darker version of Old Olive. So they look naturally together. What do you use your notch for? So, Kel, you would... line them up. So when I'm done with this, I'm going to pull that number 1 mask off and I'm going to put the number 2 mask down. And in order to kind of help me figure out where that number 2 mask goes, I can just line up the notch from number 1 and it should lay where I need it to lay, as opposed to sitting here and going, wait, where does this go? And how do the images line and whatever. It's like a guide. That's how I would say that. Okay, so we're going to start with bubble bath. Can you see? Yes. Okay, now here's the thing. In a normal good world, I would use probably 2 regular size blending brushes and then 1 mini. But from my reel yesterday, I forgot to clean my brushes. So I only have 1 full size one and 2 minis. They are stained, but they're clean. And so I only have 1 set of regulars and 1 set of minis. Some people literally have 1 brush per color. I don't do that. I just use my brushes and clean them, use them and clean them. And yes, they'll get stained, but this is a clean brush. There's no color on it. I'm not color contaminating. There's no color there. We're good. So I'm going to start holding my head a little low. I'm going to pick up color, again, bubble bath. I'm going to go onto scrap paper first. You do not want to go directly onto your stencil because you'll get a splotch. Well, bubble bath is kind of a light color, so it's hard to see, but you would get a very intense kind of splotch. So start on grid paper, kind of get a little bit of that splotch off, and then you're going to go. Now, oh, sugars, I forgot to get, okay, I'm going to have to use this. Ah, where'd it go? I just had it. Here it is. This is a sneak peek for anybody that signed up for my retreat. Sneak peek. This is me. I was working on cards. Sneak peek. So I don't want to hit the little flowers because I'm going to color them yellow. So I just want to make sure I'm getting these big ones. So here we go. Now bubble bath is a very light color. So even after applying, I'm like, is there color there? You can always build. You can always apply more color. I'm trying really hard not to hit these flowers because I want to make them yellow. And then this guy over here as well. Whoop. I think I'm going to do just a smidge more. I really don't want to hit the flowers and I'm going to make yellow. Keep these guys. I don't know if I made that one yellow. Where's my sample? Did I make that one yellow? You know what? I think, oh no, I did make those yellow. Yep. Okay. So there, very light. You can barely see it. Do you wash them and clean them? Yep. Yolanda, I just put it under the water, run them under the water. Sometimes I'll like even kind of brush it over my hand just to provide a little bit of friction. And then as soon as the water runs clean, they're good. I just air dry them. Yep. Now, because I'm kind of going gradient color, I'm not going dark, medium, light. I'm going light, medium, dark. I'm going to use the same brush. A little controversial. You're not really cross-contaminating colors because, again, they're in the color family. If I was going dark, medium, light, yeah, absolutely color contamination. But I'm going to go light, medium, dark. So the whole time I'm going to use the same brush. If you don't feel comfortable with that, you could use 3 different brushes. Again, I don't have 3 clean different brushes. I probably should buy another set. Okay, so we're going to pull this mask off. There you go. You can probably see the color a little bit better there. And then to wash the mask, you just run it under water. It comes right off. Doesn't need soap. Doesn't need to be scrubbed. Literally just adding water, the color washes right off of it. Okay, we're going to come in with number 2. I want to find my notch. So I'm going to line up my notch, but I'm also going to just look at my image because sometimes just going off of your image is sometimes more helpful than going by the notch. So, okay, we're going to go with that. Post-it note tape to hold. And then same thing, we're building that color. So now I'm going to do Petunia Pop, coming in with my same blending brush, getting that chunk of color off first. I don't want to hit my yellow flowers. I really wish I had post-it notes. It would make, if you had post-it notes, it would make it a little easier to not hit those. Did I move? Well, it is what it is. I might have moved a little bit. It is what it is. It's definitely sort of an artistic look. So if you mess up and you don't line them up properly, nope, I'm done. Okay, and then this guy I want to not. Get under there. Please don't do that. Okay, did I miss anywhere? Oh, you know what? I just realized I never did the yellow. Oh, Jamie. Okay, we're going to have to come back with the number 1 because I never did the yellow. Oh, I guess I could use Post-it note tape. That was kind of silly of me. I guess I just always use Post-its because it covers bigger space. Okay, I got to come back with 1 because I never did the yellow. That was kind of silly of me. Okay, so I'm back with number 1. Not to do the purple. Purple is done. I need to do the yellow. So let's close Petunia Pop before I put my thumb in it. That was a little silly of me. So I'm going to start with the lightest of the yellows, which would be our Lemon Lolly. And this one I definitely am going to use a mini brush because I don't need to cover that much space. There's not a ton of it. It's just a little. Same technique. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I don't want to nick that purple. And then there's one over here, right? Yep, this guy. And then this guy. That's Lemon Lolly. Okay, we're good. Okay, Lemon Lolly. So now we got to go back to number 2 because I didn't do my yellows. So where's number 2? Come back. Okay, so number 2. And I'm going to do Daffodil Delight for number 2. One of the little ones. And I'm going to use the same brush. I did mine on black cardstock and stamped it with white ink and used Berry Bliss for the roses. Ooh. Oh, that sounds beautiful, Lisa. That sounds really pretty. Okay. Oh, I don't think I lined up exactly. Okay, we're going with it. It is what it is. I'm not going to fix it now. I feel like I'm playing. I'm taking a chance and not using something to cover. Okay. That's mask number 2. See, we're building. Excuse me. Okay, number 3, same deal. This is the last and final one for the flowers. And this one, actually, I found it easiest to line them up by going, these are like, I don't know if you can see, but this one actually goes over like the centers of these flowers. And so, yeah, you could go by your little notch, but honestly, lining up those centers I found was the easiest way to get this aligned. And okay. Now we're going to go with our darkest purple, which I'm going to do Berry Burst using the same blending brush. Same blending brush. And this is the one that we really want to make sure it's a nice, vibrant, sort of intense color. Like really just lay it on. Okay, and then Jamie, don't take it off. We got to do the yellow. Poor yellow. This one I'm going to use Crushed Curry, which would be the darkest of the yellows that I'm applying. Get a little guy over here. And then a little guy over here. Okay, I think we're good. Now with that, our flower should be done. Flowers should be done. Oh, so pretty. It's so pretty. So really soft. That bubble bath is super soft, but really just pretty. Okay, leaves. Number 4. This one's easiest because it's going to go right over the outline of your leaves. So you don't even have to necessarily use the notch, although it is there as a guide. But don't necessarily need it. Okay. Now, Old Olive. Again, going to come in. This green is pretty intense, so I'm going to make sure I get a lot of that splotch off. Why does that not look lined up? Hold on. Let's do a little double checking before I start adding color. Okay, we're going to go with that. Okay, here we go. Now this one, you can just go all over. I'm not doing, like the first one, I'm not doing multiple colors. I'm just doing one. And you can see, like that's a lot darker than over here, which is kind of nice. You're getting variation of color, just depending on how much color is on your brush when you're applying it. So you're naturally just getting a gradient color. Okay, old olive. And then last but not least, pull that off. Oh, see how the leaves make it pop? Like it's pretty just the flowers, but then you add those leaves and boom, it just pops. So pretty. Okay. Now we're going to come with Mossy Meadow. Again, just like the Berry Burst, this is the one that we want to make sure we get a nice, deep, Mossy Meadow needs to be re-inked. Nice. And this one I can almost go straight to it because it is such an intense color. I don't have to really worry about splotches. I mean, the leaf is such a small little thing. It's not like you can really see splotches because it's so small. Okay, here we go. Hopefully that worked. Ready? Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. That's gorgeous. I'm sorry. That is so pretty. Now, again, if you were just making a card and you're like, I want to keep things simple, not that that was necessarily a simple process, but you could just, bam, put a sentiment on that. Great, like anniversary card, wedding card, just a great card right there. Bam. Gorgeous. So I'm trying to get all the inked things out of my way before I make an oops. Okay, so really pretty right there. But we're going to cut it out. So I'm going to take my big die, put it over it, and run it through my machine. Cut the whole thing out. Okay. So hold on. I want to really take my time and line this up because the last thing I want to do is run it through and have it not be well layered and then it come out. But then they're done that. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. That's so pretty. So pretty. Okay. So now you can see, yep, right here. That's where it's going to overlap. It's going to overlap down there. Now I wanted it to pop. I wanted it to be 3D. And so I came in with my dimensionals and my minis. And I put them basically everywhere I could low. Oop, that's tight. We're good. Okay, now grab your minis and put your minis as like everywhere that you possibly can. So like even on that little piece, I'll put another one there maybe. And then I want to figure out where up here I can add them. It takes a little bit of trial and error, but like up here I can. Where else? I kind of put it over it and then I see like what's flapping in the wind. Like over here is. So I'll put one there. Probably one in the center. One there. I don't know. I don't know if this process makes sense, but it's just how my brain did it. Right? Oh, that's kind of, let me put a mini right there because that one was kind of flapping. Okay, take all your backings off. This is the most time consuming, no, not literally, but especially the minis, they just don't come off super easily sometimes, all the times. Like this. Oh, forget it. Where's my thing? You can also use the pokey end of your take your pick tool. This is when I'm making like retreat or stamp camp things. This is what I do. Okay, perfect. And then we're gonna hopefully get this over. It's a little on the tricky side. I would suggest kind of hovering before you commit. And then down it goes. How close am I? That's pretty close. There's not much overlap there. Thank you so much. Okay, we got to cut the little extra bits off. So over here, I'm just going to go right along the edge of my card. Give it a little bit of a haircut. Same over here, bit of a haircut. Now, you'll notice in my sample card, where is it? Here it is. I was like, oh my gosh, I must have, how did I get that piece? I have no idea where that came. Oh, over here. I must have moved it a little closer. I was like, oh, that's actually pretty. So I'm going to adhere this up here. And I can even, well, that's just a regular one, but you can use those little pieces. Don't throw them away. You can use them. This one, I like that I cut a little bit of the purple off, so you could kind of see it at the top there. I guess I must have gone more right than left. Okay, so this is where the fun fold comes in, and I didn't cut it ahead of time because I wasn't sure how high I had it to go. But you need to cut your designer paper. Again, I can't give you the exact measurement because it's going to depend on how high up you cut this. But you need it to cover however high it goes. Now, don't make fun of me because my ruler, okay? The ruler and I, we've had some good times and we've had some bad times, and he broke. So no judging my ruler. He still works. So you want to go as high up as like these notches are. So that is just under 2 inches. So I'm probably going to go about 2 1/4. Let me double check over here. If I go 2 1/4, is that high enough? That is actually way high. I can go 2 1/8. Let's see what 2 1/8 looks like. Okay, I'm going to cut it 2 1/8. So you just want to measure where your notch is, like how high. If you go a little higher, obviously, like for this card, I think I cut it like 3 1/2. It's significantly higher. So it's not a kind of one and done. It really depends on how, I just dropped my catalog, how high up you cut it. So I'm going to do 2 1/8. Lord willing, my measurement was correct, by 4 1/4. Oops, I just bumped that. Before I adhere it down, let's just double check that my measurement was right. Ooh, it was. It very much was. Okay, we're good. So let's adhere this down. Oops, try it again. Take 2. Nope. Take 3. Take 3. Come on. I just filled it. There we go. So it's going to go at the bottom. What is the measurements of the basic white cardstock, the first one that was cut? It's just your card front, your regular size card front. So 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. This was originally a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then I remember I cut that little chunk off. Okay. So see where we're going? See where we're at? Now, you know what I kind of wish, and I might leave this for after because I'm not going to torture you guys with coloring all of it again. But I kind of wish I had a piece up here. You know what might do it also is, I'm looking for my stamp so I can show you. Like this. Like I kind of wish I had a piece of this up here. So remember how I always said this rose right here can be die cut, like that individual rose by itself? I might do that and kind of add it up here just to kind of fill that, or maybe over here just to kind of fill it a little bit. Because I like this pop, just a little hint, this little tiny little pop over here. And I mean, I could add that, but it's just different because this has the purple and that doesn't. Okay, let's do the sentiment. Sentiment, we're going to go with grateful for you, and I didn't put it on a block. Okay, grateful for you. We're going to stamp in. My desk is such a mess. I don't know what I did with my memento. Oh my God. Oh, there it is. There is stuff literally everywhere. You're welcome. Okay, grateful for you. Stamped in memento. Die cut. We're going to go right in the middle. I don't need that big of a piece. And then I cut it out with the die, one of the dies from my absolutely favoriteest dies ever. The Stitch stylish shapes dies. And I just kind of, well, I may need to play. I may have this come off this way. You know what? Hold on a second. Time out. Talk amongst yourselves. I kind of want to heat emboss. I don't have any of my heat emboss stuff out, but I kind of want to heat emboss. Hold on. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to heat emboss. I don't have anything out to do it, so you're going to have to bear with me, but I need a pop of color. If I do white, it's like too white on white, right? So we're going to heat emboss. don't mind me as we change the plans and okay, that's big enough. So we need, what do we need? We need, oh, my thing isn't even plugged in. I'm going to have to plug in my heat tool. You need white embossing. Come on. White embossing powder. Now my desk is really getting loaded. You need an embossing buddy. You need Versamark. And then you need a heat tool. Okay. That didn't take too long to prep. So we're going to heat emboss because I want to. When I use the heat, wow, look at that. That is why I do what I'm about to tell you. When I use the embossing buddy is great. You wipe it over your cardstock. It gets rid of like static and dust and any little particles that's going to want to hold on to the embossing powder. It just kind of gets rid of all of that. But it can kind of be like a clump of powder. There's like a white powder in here. And so I usually just wipe it on my hand first because, like, look, you can see the clump came out, so that it doesn't change too much the color of my cardstock. If you're using this with black, you will see it does lighten it just a smidge. Okay, here we go. Stampin' Versamark ink because it's nice and stays wet longer, buying you time to sprinkle the powder. Holy cow, my desk. Woo! You can tell I've been crafting today. You're going to generously sprinkle it with white embossing powder. Tap off excess. I have a powder on there right now, right? Close everything up before you turn your heat tool on, or else the powder and everything else is going to go flying. Ask me how I know that. Turn your heat tool on. Make it warm. And then you're going to get it close without getting too close. Close enough to make it go nice and shiny. Ta-da. So I don't know. Come on. You have to trust me. It's not a powder. It's a nice shine. Now, my banner here is way oversized. And I actually just want like a little bit. I'm going to have it come off the left here. So I'm going to go a little bit far right. And then again, well, I can totally cut it out and then just give it a trim. Probably like there. Okay, beautiful, gorgeous. Now I only want it, I'm just kind of guesstimating how much I want it. Right there. Ah, oh my goodness, the stuff is everywhere. Okay, so I got to find my mark. I'm just going to give it a haircut. And that's what I'm left with. That's all I really wanted. I don't need a whole big thing. Oh, so pretty. Underneath, I'm going to wind just a little bit of linen thread because I love this stuff and I could solely use it in my paper crafting probably for the rest of my life and just be happy as a clam. To do the little windy bit, I just put a little bit of adhesive, or a lot of adhesive, I guess. Don't mind my linen thread. I couldn't find where it started, so I had to snip. I could not find where that thing started for the life of me. Whoops, don't stick. Don't stick. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, hold on. I just want to figure out which way. Okay. And then listen, it kind of has a mind of its own. So you're not, let it do what it wants to do for the most part. And then you can kind of look. Oh, that one loop does not look very pretty. And if you don't like it, you just rip it off and do it again like I just did. No harm done. How's that? Nope, I don't like that either. I want it more sideways. There we go. I think that's better. Let's see. Well, not exactly the look I want, but it may have to do, or else I'm going to sit here way longer than you want to get. That doesn't look like a loop. Okay, and one loop is bigger than the other. Can I make that a little smaller? Okay, good enough. Ever have those like crafting moments? You're like, that's good enough. That's good enough. One is bigger than the other. Hold on. There we go. Okay, dimensionals, if I can literally find them. There they are. We're going to do one here, one there. And nick that into the corner there. That's gonna bother me. Let's see here. I do have this little doodad. I could actually, let's do that because it does fill that little space. So a little liquid glue. I mean, I have it and it's colored and it's pretty, so we might as well use it, right? Okay, gorgeous. And then some iridescent pearl beautifulness to finish us off. Just cover it or else I'm gonna, wow, I'm low. You can tell which ones I use, the small or the large. I use much more of the small than I do of the large. Like, there's not even a question about it. That's kind of how it is for all of my embellishments, though. I kind of want to put it down here, but then, well, I guess I can do it. Does that look weird if you open it and then see a dot? I feel like now I have to add another one so it doesn't look so absurd. And then you need an odd number, so we'll add another one. Let's just keep adding them. I kind of want it there. No, maybe I'll put it there. I'm not lefty. Hold on. I'm just trying to see. No, I want it there. Okay. Done. Okay. So there's our fun fold. It's a very, I don't know if it's like a fun fold. It's like a fun opening. Using the edge to create a really unique, different edge of your card. So kind of same concept. This is your regular fun fold though, a regular fold, or you can position it so you're cutting the edge of the actual card front so that when you open it and you still have space to write, you know, as long as you don't go too far high. I mean, even if you went really high, I mean, you could write like a small little message, write small and do it like that. So 2 different cards. Gosh, I love them both so much. Layers of beauty. You can do like an all the things card, use just the stencils, use the different images and kind of create a different image altogether, or like lazy coloring, lots of layers. Either way, layers of beauty, guys, it's gorgeous. If you don't have it, you need to get it. If you have it, you should be using it. JamieB.com. Let me drop that here. That's my link. You can get my weekly email. You can shop. You can join. Find me on all my socials. Email me off that link. JamieB. You got to spell my name right. JAIMIEB.com. That's my catch-all link. You can find everything over there. And I use 2 large and 1 small pearls usually. Really? I am like 2 small and 1 large. How funny. Okay, guys, that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I had so much fun making this card with you today. Be sure to go to my link, check out all my things. If I can serve you and help you, answer any questions in any way, please let me know how. I'd love to just help make your paper crafting experience the best it absolutely can. Have a good rest of your week, everyone. Happy stamping. See you next week.